action.
Alright, so I'm going to cut the power wires.
Okay.
Strip a chunk of the wire off.
Okay.
Gauging roughly which hole matches our wire.
Okay.
Of course, leaving all my scraps all over the place. I'm going to take my soldering iron, now that I have my ends clean. Some of them I might twist down, just to make them easier to work with. I'm going to pre-tin, which is adding solder to the wire to make it work easier later to the wire. What you'll see is when I add the heat, the solder will suck into it, and I'll just go all the way around to make sure it's soldered. And you want just enough for the part to be shiny.
You don't need big globs on it.
Yeah.
No, okay. Just enough to be shiny.
Yeah. And you'll see when you do it yourself up close, you'll see the solder just suck into the wire.
Yeah.
And that's when you're safe to move or move on to the next one. I like to take the tip and work it around the wire just to make sure it's done.
Yeah.
We've got our little wire. I'm just going to touch that real quick. You may want to strip a little bit more back, but we're going to see how lucky I am. With a good soldering iron, you always want to keep your soldering iron good, you always want to clean it after you're done so it's just nice and shiny.
Yeah.
The black corrosion is not so good for it.
Black corrosion bad.
Yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to add our heat shrink to the connector side, push it all the way down because it's going to get warm. I'm using, instead of third hands, you can use your friend's hands. And I'm going to use some leverage to my advantage. The wires are pushing on each other right now, so when I heat them up, they should suck into each other fairly well. And if not, I'll be able to manipulate one wire. I'll add a little bit of solder. And you'll see when it happens, the wires melt together.
Nice.
And I'll just go in afterwards and touch this on. So you can see it's added just slightly to the edge.
Nice.
So it's not working right away. I'll add a little bit of solder to the iron to help transfer the heat. Touch it. You'll see it instantly work. Oh, moved it too fast. So let it sit for a second. So it cools down. You can see it change colors.
Yeah.
And just add our black wire to it real quick. Clean the soldering tip. So we want to let this joint cool down a little bit so I can slide one over. Slide the other over before the heat shrink factor kicks in. Once they're covered, we'll use our heat gun and shrink the wire. That would be about it. Our gun will cool down, so it's kind of
Nice.
annoying.
There you go.